Welcome to the Data Hall YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about different data types that are there in Stata. So mainly there are 4 data types. We can divide them into 4 data types. One is called integers. The second one is the decimal numbers, and then we have strings and date. So if you look at if you type help data types, then what you'd see is that we have this byte, integer, and long. These 3 are types related to integer, and it shows us what minimum and maximum value it can hold. So a byte can hold a minimum value of -127 and maximum value of 100. Similarly, an integer can hold minimum and maximum value of this much, and then we have long. But they all are integers, right? They all are not decimal numbers or double or float. And then we have this float and double that would contain decimal numbers, and we can see that what is their range. Then we have strings, and if you look at if you find a data type that is written as str1 or str2, str20, or so on and so forth, that all are string type variables. And what 1, 2, and 3 means that how much number of characters they can hold. A string str50 would mean that it can hold 50 characters. And then we have date data type that would just hold dates or in the time series. Okay, so let's generate a number. So whenever we use generate, we can specify the data type that it would use. So we can generate str number 1, 2, 3. So this would be the variable, and this would be what it would contain. But its type would be str50, right? That would mean it can hold 50 number of digits. But rather, let's import a data. Let's import auto data. Okay, and let's execute this command. So we have a variable called number, and its data type is str50, and it holds just 3 characters, right? Do remember that when you assign a data type that can hold large number of characters, but it actually holds less number of characters, then it would require more size. Remember that whenever the capacity of a string variable, or we move from byte to double, its number of bytes, the space that it requires would also increase. We can also generate a variable, let's call it double, and that would be equal to mpg. Although mpg by itself is a integer variable, but let's generate a double variable. Okay, so let's generate a double variable, and now you can see an mpg2 have a double data type, right? Now, as I discussed, that as we increase the capacity, the size of the dataset would increase. Now, in this case, because we have less number of observations, less number of variables, dataset does not matter. So we have a dataset of 7.30 kilobytes. We can use a compress command that would decrease the size of the data by assigning the relevant data type. Mainly this is what it would do. So now you can see that it had been shrinked to more than half of its original capacity, so around 240. So what it had done is that if you look at the message that had been generated, it had converted mpg to string, because remember mpg was integer, and integer requires more space as compared to byte. So now, because this mpg had been converted from integer to byte, it would require less space. Similarly, we generated an mpg2 which was double. It had also been converted to byte. There was a a variable that we generated which was called number, and it had a str50. That means it can hold 50 characters, but the maximum character that it was holding were 3 characters, right? 1, 2, 3. So the relevant data type should have been str3. So that had been assigned by the compress command. So what compress does is it reduces the space, but by just changing the data type, assigning the relevant data type. Also remember that we have a recast command that can be used to change the storage type. So let's say we want to recast the current price variable is integer, but we want to convert it into double. So we would write the command, then the name of the data type we want to assign, and then the variable name. So convert the price from the current data type to the data type that we have assigned, which is double. Similarly, headroom is currently float. We can convert that into, say, integer. Similarly, make is str50. We can convert that into str17. It is currently str17 and we want to convert it into str50. But do remember that price is a numerical variable, and if you use str50, that is, we want to convert this price into a string variable data type. If we do that, it would give us an error, which is the str50 is invalid, and even if you use the force option, it wouldn't work. Do remember that recast is not used to convert string into numeric or numeric into string. For that, there are other commands. Let's say we have encode, decode, dstring or toString for that purpose. So we do have a video on all of them. So I hope you have learned from this video. Do subscribe to this channel and do hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching the video.